The biggest reason why real estate agents are not succeeding at a level that they otherwise could be is not because of outside influences. It's because of three major excuses. Today, I'm going to cover all three of them so that you know exactly what to watch out for and what to overcome, putting you in rare air, putting you above and beyond where most agents will ever go. Hey guys, Justin Stoddart here of Think Bigger Real Estate, a premier coaching and consulting platform to the real estate industry. Just know that I have people reaching out to me all the time asking, how do I grow my real estate business in this market? And I love answering that question. It's something that I am absolutely passionate about and obsess over. So just know that you can call me, text me, email me, and or you can even click the button to spend a few minutes with me on Zoom. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. So I'm going to give you the secret to why most real estate agents don't make it. The statistics are absolutely alarming, you guys. 80% of real estate agents are out of the business in 2 years or less. 80%, 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5. That's crazy bad, crazy sad. And you know what? It doesn't have to be that way. It just doesn't. One of the reasons why I believe it does happen is because agents are looking at outside circumstances. They're looking at, hey, the market's bad, rates are high, too many buyers, too few buyers, not enough homes to sell. The reality, guys, it's not that. There are unique and challenging circumstances in any market where there are also, at the same time, people who are killing it, people who are doing great. So what's the difference? What I want to talk about are the three biggest excuses, because honestly, that is the biggest determining factor. I work with real estate agents from around the country, very high producers, agents that are even just getting started to a lot of agents that are right in the middle. And it's so interesting to me, those who I have confidence in partnering with and really helping them are those who have already found a way past these excuses. Whereas when I see agents that are really holding on to these things, I try and help them, but quickly, if I can, I realize like, we're not going to go anywhere because you're holding on to these excuses. So just know that not only are potentially clients passing up on you, but key partners, key coaches might be saying like, I'm not going to invest my time there because they're really holding on with like white knuckle grip, these excuses. So excuse number one, we hear this often. We even hear it in ourselves. We hear ourselves thinking it. I'm not ready yet. Now this can show up in all forms or fashions, but think about this. Like I lack the experience. I can't go up against other agents who have sold X number of homes. The reality is the homeowner doesn't benefit necessarily directly. The fact that someone who sold 1,000 homes versus somebody who sold 5 homes, as long as they know what they're doing and have the ability to access someone who's sold 1,000 homes, then that client is in good hands. Oftentimes, I found that agents who have so many properties listed at any given time or so many buyers aren't giving the best service. They just can't because they haven't delegated that out to enough people. So oftentimes those agents who have a little less experience, now some experience is great, and access to a lot of experience is the equalizer. But I found agents who are in that spot who can just absolutely give massive amounts of attention to their clients to where that client gets even a better experience than somebody who's working with somebody who's selling thousands of homes. If you're saying to yourself, I lack the experience, just know that a lot of that is in your head, that you can actually get around that and past that. And the reality is everybody out there that succeeded at the highest level went through a phase where they didn't have enough experience. So if you're holding on to that now because you've never sold a home, then partner up with somebody, co-list with somebody, go get a deal and lean on someone, be willing to get rid of some of your fee in order to get the experience that you need, right? Write the check. In other words, bring another agent in to get the mentorship and get the help and get the experience. It's like college tuition. And this career is going to make you a lot more than most careers coming out of college, PS. Oftentimes you'll hear agents say other excuses that are even worse than that, which is my website isn't quite ready yet. My website doesn't look good enough yet. The reality is you're going to have to direct people really strongly to your website. Now, maybe they'll Google you, but the reality is search engines, LinkedIn, and others are going to show up before, and you can get those corrected in just a few minutes. So don't overthink the fact that my website has to be perfect. Many agents that have succeeded at the highest levels don't even have a website. They're using their company's website. Can you excel further and faster if you do have a great website? Sure, but it's not a reason to not get started. It's just not. All of these sub excuses are under the main number one excuse, which is I'm not ready. Okay, so let's go to a few more under this that I hear often, which is my logo and branding isn't dialed yet. As soon as I get that that done, then I'm ready to go. Guys, I'm telling you that your clients just don't care that much. You care, they don't. They want their home marketed. They don't care so much about your business marketed. Get out and be in conversations with other people about real estate. The logo doesn't matter that much, right? It just doesn't. People care about your attention to their situation, not their attention to your situation. So don't let that get in your way. On this concept, again, the kind of major excuse of I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to be on video yet. Let me tell you a little secret. My mentor, worth hundreds of millions of dollars now, he taught me this. He said, Justin, the first 100 videos are not for your audience. They're for you to learn what it is that you want to talk about, what you can bring energy to. Because the reality is, people that watch your videos, when something happens where they want to reach out and do business with you, it's because they feel something coming from you. So it's going to take you 100 videos to find out what you're passionate about. Hopefully you can feel the energy and passion coming out of this, because this isn't a chore for me. I love talking about this stuff, you guys. And it's going to take you some time as well to do enough videos to where you have found what you love talking about. You're going to have to go through the process of doing a bunch of videos, not for your audience, but for you to figure out what you want to talk about. So this concept of I'm not good on video, nobody's good on video when they start, nobody. But it's a road you have to go down to where you can be good at video. So don't let that get in the way. The main excuse of I'm not ready is I don't know enough yet. Again, I shared this already, guys. We live in the information age when information is critical and totally accessible. You can call on Siri, you can call on Alexa, you can call on Google. There is access to so much information that you don't have to be a dummy. Now, you also shouldn't misrepresent what you know, but you should also go into every conversation knowing as much as you can, considering that particular circumstance. And if you don't know, say, that's a great question. I'm going to get right back to you. Reach out to that mentor that we talked about. Reach out to that coach that we talked about. Reach out to one of these social mediums that can help you get the answer. It's not that complicated to get information in today's age. You don't have to go to the library, find an encyclopedia, check out a book, right? You just don't have to do that. You can actually go get access right away. So not knowing enough is not acceptable anymore. Second big excuse that's keeping you potentially and other agents from reaching their potential, and it's this: I can't afford it. We hear that all the time. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. Whether it be for something like marketing, whether it be for something like coaching, whether it be for something like mentorship, the reality is this: those that achieve at the highest levels don't necessarily have the most amount of resources. They have the most amount of resourcefulness. I say this with caution because some of you are super loose with your credit card and you'll buy anything that comes across your inbox. That's not what I'm talking about. You have to be very careful because there's a lot of magic bullets being thrown into the real estate industry. You actually have to do some due diligence to make sure that that is the right fit for you and that that person can actually get you results, or that tool or that service can get you results, because you can just start swiping yourself into bankruptcy. Now, don't do that, right? But I am saying, when you have found the right solution, whether it be marketing, whether it be coaching, whether it be sales training, whatever it is, if you know that that's the right thing for you and you simply say, I can't afford it, just know that you're creating your destiny to be one in which you always can say or have to say, I can't afford it. Do you like saying I can't afford it? Probably not. We don't want to have those restrictions. We want to be able to say, yes, that's right for me. Yes. The only way you'll ever get to the point to where it's like, I have the freedom to say that, is by identifying what's the right solution for you, come up with the resources to make that investment. You must make sure that the things that you're purchasing are investments. When you look at it like that, you realize like, okay, great, I'm going to get a return on this. So you need to be careful about what you invest in to be sure that it does get a return. But again, once you have the right solution for you, then get resourceful. Do not let I can't afford it get in the way, because if that's true, it will always be in the way. That will be showing up for the rest of your life, both in things that you want to do in business, growth that you want to experience in business, as well as things you want to experience in life. And nobody wants a life where you have to live your entire life saying, I can't afford it. That's a terrible life. Don't let that happen. The third big excuse is I don't have time. I'm going to call BS on this right now, because the one equalizer that all mankind has, everyone across the planet has the same 24 hours a day. Some people are making billions of dollars a year because they're using their time differently. So what's the difference? Well, we could blame it on outside circumstances. It's them, it's they, if they had an advantage, all this. I get it. Now, I'm not here to teach you how to be a billionaire because I'm not one, right? So I don't know how to teach that. However, I can teach you how to go from where you're at to a better place, a better spot. However, you have to come to the understanding that you have to let go of the excuse of I don't have enough time. A better thing to say is I have made other commitments that are not putting me where I want to go. And the reality is when they say commitments, sometimes we think that we have to verbalize and say, okay, I'm going to do this with my time. Oftentimes it's just how we show up. If I were to look back at my day over the past week and see a pattern, I would say, okay, I've made commitments to aimlessly scrolling social media. Now you might not think that that's a commitment. It's not a formal commitment, but it kind of is because we're doing it day after day after day. So it looks like we're pretty committed. Or I'm committed to binging Netflix late at night. Your actions committed you to that thing. So whether you like it or not, each and every one of us are making commitments that are producing a return. So yes, we all have the same amount of time. It's simply how we're using that time. One of the most important commitments that you're going to need to make is that you're committed to understanding the life that you actually want. Number one, what do I want? No one else should be determining that for you. You should be determining what is the life that I want. Number two, what is my plan to getting there? And number three, what do I need to do? Who do I need to know? What skills do I need to acquire to get me to that spot? Once we start to let go of, I don't have enough time, and we say, I actually do have enough time. I have 24 hours just like every other person on the planet. And we start to really go deeper on the fact of, okay, with that time, how am I managing my commitments? What am I committed to? Do I know where I'm going? Do I have a plan to get there? If you don't have a goal, then that becomes the focus. You need to gain some clarity on what you actually want to achieve. Because if you don't have a destination, then any destination will work. Clearly identify where you want to go, number one. And number two, what's the best path to get there? Who are the best people that can teach me and help me to get there? What needs do I have to make that plan work to get to that goal? In recap, the three biggest excuses why agents exit the business is because they look at outside circumstances, things that they can't control, instead of focusing on what they can control. And they hold on to these three big excuses, which is number one, I'm not ready yet. Number two, I don't have the means, right? I don't have the money for that. I can't afford that. Number three, I don't have time for that. Once we let go of those and step onto a bigger stage, step onto a more solid foundation, which is, no, I can control these things and I'm going to move forward day in and day out. Then all of a sudden we start to see that we leave the masses that are exiting the business and not succeeding. And we start to have our businesses reflect those that are very, very successful. Thank you for tuning in, guys. As I mentioned before, my passion is helping the real estate industry succeed big, to help them to think bigger and to achieve bigger. Again, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can call me, you can text me, you can even schedule time with Zoom. In the notes, you'll see all of that. People reach out to me all the time and I absolutely love it. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you know when more videos are coming. And in the meantime, go think bigger. Talk to you all soon.